pick up good?
Yeah, they're picking it up right now.
Oh, okay.
And it's all good. Hey, this is KPOO, San Francisco, 89.5 FM, KPOO.com. I'm Mr. Ford. This is the Soul Explosion Show. And I've got Carrie Cleveland here in the studio and her son, Heston. And we're going to chat it up a bit. I'm going to play some of the music off her record that has just been re-released and is available. But hi, Carrie. Hi. It's good to see you. Thanks so much for coming down.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Yeah, I just wanted to get the sadness out of the way. I'm really sorry about your sister. It's just,
thank you.
It hurts real bad. I know. I
Yeah.
just lost my dad not too long ago, and
Wow.
so I understand. And that's just yesterday.
Well, she's
so.
in a better place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But thank you. You're going through that, and then you still came down to do the show, so I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And Heston, thanks for being the chauffeur.
Oh, man, we wouldn't miss it, Chris. Wouldn't miss it.
All right. And so let me ask your son first. Tell me about the reissue process and the record that got reissued. That's available right now through what's the label that
Kalita Records.
Kalita Records.
Yeah.
And what's the record? Just to tell them about the record. It's a reissue of the original.
Yeah, the original was named Carrie Cleveland Looking Up, and now the reissue is Carrie Cleveland Looking Up, The Complete Works.
Ah, got it.
And the difference is it's 2 or 3 different versions of a couple of songs on there. One was Make Love to Me, a 7-inch promo, which was really a war online. We had to fight, and people were looking for it, and we didn't have a copy. And just at the last minute, the record label found one somebody had in London.
Of course, that would be in London. That's where all the Soul 45s end up in London for some reason. All right, so you've reissued the record and it's available in the Bay Area and record stores for those of you who listen to records. And is it did you put it out on any other media? Is it available on CD as well, or?
It's on CD. You could stream it. Apple Music.
Okay.
iHeart Radio, Amazon.
And what record stores could you buy it here in the Bay Area? Hint, hint.
Oh, your store.
wait. What's that? This I'm not allowed to say anything. It'd be an advertisement if I say anything. But anyway, all right. Well, Carrie, I'm really so excited to have you here, and I'm trying to be as thoughtful as I can in asking you questions. But kind of to start was what was the scene like? Like when you recorded that record. What was you came out of Oakland, and what was the soul scene like there? What was it? Was disco was just kind of coming off, and
disco. I call disco when Donna Summers was disco, and when I did that one song, it was sort of, but I don't know if I would call it disco or not. But that's what different ones been saying is disco. So.
Or boogie, they call it now, too, some of it, yeah.
But I didn't like it, but the more I hear it, the more I like it.
That tends to happen. And
Yeah.
but what, at that time, there was a pretty cool scene in the Bay Area in Oakland. What were some of the what were some of the clubs you like to go to, or some of the acts that you looked up to? What other acts were you digging at the time?
Well, I sung more or less, sort of like jazz, kind of jazzy. What would you call it? It really wasn't like I used to like. I like old songs.
I understand.
Like Sam Cooke.
Sure, yeah.
Really go back there.
Mm-hmm.
But the songs that I listen to now seem like they're kind of coming back.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
I like Good Morning Heartache.
Oh, yeah, for sure. What, what does it feel like now? I know you're going through a lot of stuff, but what does it feel like now to kind of be, have a new audience of people that are interested in the music you recorded back then? What is it? How does it feel for you? Is it it's a little overwhelming, you said, or?
Right now, I'm really excited, but I haven't really gotten where I wanted because I plan to do music live.
Wow.
But right now, I haven't really got myself really together yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess once I get over the things been going on, I'll be more comfortable with it.
So we might be able to hear you sing
Yeah.
live in the near future, or
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
oh, that'd be fantastic. I know that there's you got a lot of fans in the Bay Area that would come out to hear you sing for sure.
Well, I have my old people, still my followers. They still follow me. Most of them are friends, relatives.
Mm-hmm.
But
Now you came up in Oakland originally. Were you born in Oakland?
no, I was born in Shreveport, Louisiana.
Ah.
When I came to California when I was 7.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And your dad came here for work, or?
My dad and my mom came here for work.
Mm.
They came a couple of years ahead of us,
Mm-hmm.
and we came later.
I see. And what kind of work did your dad end up doing?
My dad used to do what you call the
Street repair.
street repair.
They couldn't see you.
Yeah, do the what you
Okay.
call those?
In the manholes.
What they do would do the
Tear up the asphalt.
Oh, okay.
yeah. He knows.
All right. And but you guys moved to Oakland. You lived in Oakland, and you came up in Oakland.
Mm-hmm. Everything's Oakland. I moved out of Oakland maybe 12 or 13 years ago.
Okay. Yeah. Now you're living up outside of Sacramento, right?
Yeah, Rio Vista.
Rio Vista. And coming up, before you recorded this stuff, had you sang in other bands, or did you sing at church, or where'd you find your?
I was always shy. People would ask me to sing, and I would want to, but when I met my first husband, he got me started on singing. My younger sister and I, we used to harmonize really well, but she got where she didn't care to sing anymore.
This is the sister that you just lost?
No.
Oh.
My older sister I
I
just
see.
lost. My younger sister, I lost her a long time ago.
Oh, I see. Okay, well, I'm sorry about that too.
Yeah, but I like music, and like I said, my first husband, which was a drummer when I first met him,
Bill Cleveland.
and we got where we have guests. We would just entertain, play, and sometimes I think we probably got on their nerve, but he started playing in live bands and stuff.
And then he
So-
drug you along with him.
Yeah.
I get it.
So
But do you remember any of the clubs you used to play back then?
we used to play at the Claremont.
The Claremont Hotel?
We used to play there. We used to play Passance in San Francisco,
Okay.
and then they moved on to Berkeley. And we played, I don't remember the name of it, but we used to play at a gay club,
Mm-hmm.
and that was really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll bet.
So we would play just about anywhere.
All right.
His lordship.
Yeah, it's Lordships.
Where was that?
Berkeley Marina.
Yeah,
Oh,
Berkeley
okay.
Marina.
They
Okay.
tore it down.
Yeah.
Yes, a lot of places I played at, they're no longer there. And I remember I would just go, but when they used to have on Sundays, they would do jam session. Do they have that still?
Yeah, they still do it. Yeah, they still
Well, they
do
need to do it. And that was very much fun.
Yeah.
I would go, but it was mostly band. Everybody sit in.
One of the they don't do it anymore, but in the Dog Patch in San Francisco there was a bar and they did a
Really?
jazz jam and like all the heavy hitters who were in town would show up. It was really fun.
Wow.
They stopped doing that too.
Oh, wow.
There's still a lot of blues jams around, but it's not quite the same as
like it used to be.
yeah, and I don't think so. And let me ask you, Heston. So we were talking before we came on about the 3 different recordings of
Make Love to Me.
yeah, and I'm gonna play the track that I like, the one that I like. But there's 3 different recordings, and you were saying who was playing drums? Which was the one you were telling me about? One of them had fatter drums, and that was who was it that
Victor Green.
Victor Green played, and that was on the 45.
The 45, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because you played it for me before we started, and I don't want to play all 3 of them,
Right.
But I want to play the one that I like,
course.
and then and we can go from there. Okay. But and anything else you could tell me? So now, why would they? So what changed, or why did they change, or what do you know about? Why I'm just curious why there's 3 different versions of the same song.
Well, I knew of 2. And I don't know how Chris from Kalita Records found the 3rd one. I have no idea. I kind of think
That's the one on the 45 that's included with the record.
No, that's
The 3rd one is the one on the LP.
yeah. At the number 10 at the end. Number 2 is the one you like. Number 8 is the one I like. And I guess Kalita Records likes number 10.
All right. Well, I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna play this track real quick.
Okay.
You're listening to KPOO San Francisco 89.5 FM. This is Mr. Ford and the Soul Explosion show here every Monday from 1 to 3. And I've got Carrie Cleveland and her son Heston here in the studio, and we're chatting about a record that has been reissued and her newfound popularity. And I'm going to play a track from the record right now. So let's dig this.
Hold my hand, sometimes kiss me, whisper softly, sweet words to me, make me feel
So
Better.
that's the recording. I actually played the different one than
The one you really
that I really like, but that's all right because they get the vibe, man. And I'm gonna cue up the other song you want me to play off the record, and but first I want to ask just a couple of questions about your first husband, Bill Cleveland. Now he moved from playing drums to producing, right? He produced a bunch of acts or a few acts.
He did, and he also was a keyboard player.
Oh, okay.
He ended up being a really good keyboard player. He loved music.
Is that him playing on the?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He plays the different sounds. He had a synthesizer.
DX7, I'll bet it was.
I don't know.
It was nice.
Yeah. And he had a label too, Big C Records. Was that a?
Cleveland Productions.
You got to talk right into that mic.
Cleveland Productions.
Oh, okay. And he produced some other artists. We were talking for a minute about Hosey B was one of the artists that he worked with, and then you were telling me Hosey B did all kinds of stuff with other people too.
No, my husband.
Your
did
husband
a lot of
worked with a lot of different artists.
Right.
Yeah.
a lot of them, and I don't remember. It's been so long.
Well, I won't put you on the spot. You don't got to. I want a list. I want to. No, and all right. So let me cue this up. But let me. I just want to know. So when you first started singing, what was it like recording the record? Where did you record it? Do you remember?
In the garage.
Oh, really?
Yes.
No kidding.
Yes.
In Oakland.
In Oakland.
Uh-huh.
East Oakland.
East Oakland. All right. And what was it like? What was it like for you doing that? It was. Tell me while I cue this up. Talk a little bit about that.
My husband was such a fanatic when it came to music. Like a lot of times,
Heston, which one? Sorry.
I would want to just rehearse for a little while. He'll have me practicing for hours. When he was sick, he would get out of bed, practice, and go back to bed. He loved music that much.
I'm trying to find this. Oh, it's the first track on this side. Okay, I got it. That was easy. Mm-hmm. Well, he certainly helped you to develop an incredible talent. You're really I really love the album, and I love your singing voice.
Thank you.
And I want to offer my support to help. And if you guys want to somewhere down the line do some live shows in the Bay Area, I'll do everything I can to help you.
Okay.
There's some really hot bands in the Bay Area right now in Oakland and around, youngsters who are killing it. So it wouldn't be hard for us to find you a backing band if it was troublesome to find the original folks. But some of the original folks are still around.
Yeah, but there was the main band people. They're all gone. I'm trying to think of who is still around. There was Norris.
Nobody I know.
All of them are
You're
gone.
the sole survivor.
Heston, what was it like for you hanging out that time? Were you were around when the record was being recorded and stuff, weren't you?
Yeah, I'm on one track.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. What are you doing on that track?
Yelling.
Yelling?
Yeah, I'm at a party.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was Take Me to a Disco.
All right.
And growing up, we all loved music. And I kind of took it for granted. They played, and yeah, they're pretty good. And some of my friends would come, and they would go, "Man, they're good, and your mom could sing." And I would always go, "I told you." I'm not saying it because it's my mom. She can sing.
Yeah.
And when I started realizing how good they were, they had auditions at
The Claremont.
the Claremont,
Mm-hmm.
and it was all weekend long. It was 5 or 6 bands a day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And the following weekend, my dad said, "We got the job." And I'm like, man, all those groups were good. I mean, I really enjoyed it, just hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
And since they reissued the album, I decided, I'm not a online guru,
Mm-hmm.
but slowly I'm learning, and people have jumped on and started helping me.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're better than me. You were doing Instagram stuff earlier. I can't even find my way around Instagram. I still don't understand it. People send me personal messages through Instagram. I'm lost. I'm like, why can't you just text me?
Right. They don't text anymore. Twitter, oh man, Twitter, I'll roll over and wake up. I got 22, 30 messages overnight.
Uh-huh.
All the likes and the followers. And I'm like,
That's great.
really? I'm hearing, your mom deserves all this recognition. She's royalty. And I'm like, okay, you're talking about my mom.
Yeah.
Really? And the more I hear it, the more confident
Uh-huh.
I became, because you have to submit and request for them to play your music.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'll just send it.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll go, oh, yeah, we'll play it. She's in rotation. I got up this morning, a radio station started playing it in rotation, and I'm like, Mom, listen to this.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had the interview today, and then at 3 o'clock we got another radio station we submitted to, all new music, and she's number 6 in the 100.
Wow.
That's what I said.
Wow, that's great. Well, it's exciting to have you here, and I'm so glad you're so gracious and so classy, and I'm so glad that you came down.
Thank you.
And-
I do remember. We have Walter is still around.
Walter, and what did he play?
Guitar.
He played guitar. What was his last name?
That's what
Uh-oh, I got you now.
was Walter.
We'll figure it out.
Right. On
my
the
buddy,
way home, I'll
my,
call
It
you.
should
my
be.
my buddy
on the
David
record.
might know who Walter is. Is it on the record? Does it
No,
say- it's
my
not on-
dad played every instrument except for
Oh, okay.
one set of drums on "Make Love to Me."
Okay.
Every instrument, wrote every word. He did everything.
All right. Well, so again, if they want it, they can stream it. It's on everything. But what record stores?
Juno Records.
Well, yeah, but there's one in particular record store they could go to, right? What's that one?
Oh yeah, I remember. It's one on the corner of Alcatraz. I think it's Hercules Records.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
I think he's got a copy of the original, and he's also got a copy of the reissue. And if they want to get the reissue, we can get more copies of that.
Yes.
But, where else? Juno Records, you said, is it? And where else did Chris was texting you there?
Yeah.
Shout out too to Chris there.
Kalita Bandcamp.
Okay, that's his label, Kalita, right?
Yeah. And he says, Google it.
That's a quick answer. All right, I'm going to play this track. I just want to thank you guys for coming down, and enjoy the rest of your day. This is pretty nice San Francisco weather, I guess.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's nice. And again, I just want to thank you, Carrie. It was very nice meeting you again, and having you on the show. And I hope that I get to see you perform again soon.
Okay,
And,
well, thanks for having us.
And Heston, it was a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Always, my friend,
for
always.
chauffeuring and doing the Instagram. I'm gonna play. We're gonna get out. I'm gonna play this the track that you wanted to hear, and we're going to sneak out.